Well, we're back, and here we go. Let's finish our little squirrel up. So let's start with his nut, and we're using 941. These are the Prisma, 1076, and 1080. Okay. So let me get my colors. I have them right above here. And what I did on the other ones is I started with the beige, and I just filled in the nut part with a light touch. The whole thing. And the other ones are on there. And I see where I missed the little stem. So this is Sierra Brown. So I'm just going to go ahead, since I have it in my hand, and color the stem. Okay. So the next thing I did was I took the 90% French gray, and I just started lightly going from side to side. Okay, just lightly. And I'm using a piece of paper so I don't smear my colors. As soon as I finish this, I'm going to do so I went under his hand a little darker. But I'm going to take my pasta pen, the white one, not the black one, so it'll have a chance to dry while we finish this up. And I'm going to fill in his little eye, so it has a chance to get dry. I don't know why this one is kind of runny. It doesn't make a solid white like my big pasta pen does, even though I've shaken it and shaken it and shaken it. So I just want the outer edge of his eye to be really, really white, and we're going to let that dry. So now we're going to come back with our reddish brown and go real lightly over our little nut. Just real light. We're just kind of blending this color together. The dark with the lighter. We just want to go light, 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 light. And I'm going to pull this color back again, the Sierra beige. And I'm going to just go a little bit heavier to pull these dark colors kind of in and soften them just a little bit. But I do not want to go too heavy on the light part. And this underneath his hand should not be light. So I'm going to cover that up a little bit. And then just a little bit more with the 90% French. Just a little bit along the very, very sides. Just to darken it. Just a little bit more. Get right up next to that line. And just a tiny bit. And I did get a little bit out of line down here. I was telling a young man that at church yesterday or Saturday, we rent a building, so we have church on Saturday night. And I was telling him that I started a YouTube coloring and a Bible study. And he says, does it bother you when people color out of the lines? I'm like, are you an artist? He goes, no. He says, it just always kind of bothered me. Now look what I did, see? I didn't let it dry. So I'm going to come back in here. And I'm just going to go over where I smeared it. Thank goodness it's fixable. I can see here where I didn't get this very good. And I wanted it dark. Let's try this one more time. Where's my pasta pen? I just dip it in the little puddle that it makes. So I don't know if there's something wrong with this one or... because none of the other ones are like this. Okay. I probably should get my heat gun out and just dry it. So now I'm going to go over this part with this light Sierra beige, because I want it light underneath. I want it to look shaded. Okay. Now I'm going to take my red brown, which is a Sierra brown. So I call it a red brown because it's got more red in it. And I'm just going to, let me move this out of the way. See how I just made the X's? Well, here I'm just going to go on these little, all of these little things that she has in here. And go the other way. That kind of makes the X too. And that way. I'll just come under here. And it's your picture, so you're gonna learn to see. And just to let you know, my camera's not on my phone is not the best to show the colors that really are here. They do look lighter than what they really are. They're more vibrant. But at this time, this is what I have. So this is what we're going to use. There we go. I really don't want too much. So you can come in here and darken the outer edges. I think I'll leave the center ones lighter. And that's how you do the nut. We all have them. They're all in our families. So I'm going to just let that eye dry. And we're going to come down here. And let me move this stuff out of the way, off to the side here. I don't have a huge working space because this is my computer desk, this is my everything, and I try to get it all cleared off before we start these. So I'm going to move this up, and we are in frame. I just did a color book one, and I thought I was all in frame. There was a couple of them that I missed a little parts of them here and there. So that makes me sad, but there's nothing, I don't want to redo it right now. When I get more colored, I can re-show some of the pictures. All right, here's two little tops of these flowers that I didn't do. I'm just going to fill them in. And I've got everything else. So with these, I think I'm going to take, and I'm going to use the peacock green just on the inside. These are your leaves. You can make them any colors you want to. I just like to mix my greens up, especially when there's a lot of green, unless there's a reason to keep all the green the same color. I have this beautiful color book of flowers, and I was so surprised. 101 flowers. Let me see. "101 flowers. Look how thick this thing is." I was like, oh my gosh. We will work in this book too. Like I said, I have 25 color books now, which I have stopped looking until I get these, unless it's going to have to be really amazing to come out. You can even go on Etsy. I don't know if you ever tried this, but Etsy has some really pretty, well, Chris Ching has a website, and she has some drawings that you can buy and print out, and they're very reasonable. She has a little corgi dog with flowers that she has a little tutorial that I printed out. I haven't done it. That might be fun to do. He's so cute. But at some point you have to slow down and say, okay, enough's enough, and now let's get busy in color. But then everybody's not like me, I guess. But I have plenty of color books. I have the one which we should work a little bit in at some point. The German book going to Asia and Europe. And I really liked working in that one. It took 6 weeks and to get it because they were so backed up. Anything that you would like me to do or see, I'll see if I have that book and color it with you. I'm happy to do it. So most of the books I have are the most popular ones, mostly. I'll have to go through them one day and show you what I do have. Because you probably have a lot of the same ones. So I'm just, forgot to tell you, this is my lemon peel. Is it lemon or lime? Lime. Sometimes I read what I want to, when I want to, not what it says. So I don't think this is going to do any good to go over this. It isn't. It'll just pull that color down into your light color. So be careful. Dark colors spread easily into the light colors. So you have to push away and erase any place where you might have went over the line and got into this, so that it's going to show up. All right. Let's go with the apple green. Yeah. Let's do, because this kind of looks like these. And so we did just part of them. I'm going to ignore some of this. Some of these veins. And I'm pressing just a little bit into that. So I'm gonna, let's see, is it this one or is it this one? I think it's this one. I'll try it. Maybe, maybe not. I think it is. So I'm just gonna go around the edges. It is, and what it is the green ochre, 1091. So all I did was do this. I'll do the stem with the darker. I come back in with the green, and you're just going to blend it a little bit. And it just kind of blends it together. You're not told painting, something you can try is down the stem. One side is dark, one side is light. And it'll make your leaf look like it's almost folded in half, like it's coming up in the center, which is a really pretty effect too. We used to do that a lot, and then we'd put a real thin little black line, a real thin little white line, and then on the light side we would fill it in with light color, and on the dark side we'd make it really dark. So I'm just trying to bring this down into this a little bit, as you can see on this bigger leaf. So I am pressing a little bit harder than normal, which I really don't need to, but I just have that tendency. So I have to talk to myself, don't do that. So right here, just go back and forth until you get it, just this one little spot dark. And then on this other side, you're just going to go back and forth until you get that side light. And it may be different colors if I had a, but anyway, practice it. It's amazing how pretty it looks. So I think right there, and right there. You can just come down here, and this doesn't always pay off to do this, but these are all pretty basically the same thing. Now this leaf is going to just all but blend in there. Isn't it funny how colors just are almost the same shade, but they're not. This is green, and that little guy is brown. Come down. Okay. That little eye should be drying up. And if you wanted to, you could leave just a little bit of space on that side. And you could have left more there and left a little highlight so that it separates. So if I don't go too deep into this, I can put the green on the top. See, and it'll separate it, which is a nice effect, I think. It's your picture. So you can try different things. You can also start out by putting just a teeny bit of green around the edge. That way you don't forget to leave a little space. And even if you go over it, it might darken it some, but it's not going to disappear. It's going to still give you a contrast between that dark and this dark, and keep those leaves separated. Even if you go over the top, it will darken it, but it will keep it separated. So I just think this is turning out cute. And the eyes are the most important thing of the whole thing. If you get the eyes nice, where it looks like he's really looking at you, or wherever he's looking, it changes the whole effect. When you're doing ceramics, if you get the eyes pretty on whatever you're doing, it really makes a difference, a big difference. Here we have almost got this. And then all we got left to do is his eye. And then we'll go do that little, I keep calling him a groundhog, but he's not, can't think of what he's called. Maybe he is. He sure is cute. Okay, I'm going to do just a little bit of that turned leaf just on the bottom. Okay, and underneath here should be the darkest part of the leaf because it's in shadow. And under here, you can just kind of fill it in and give it like a little bit of you can really mix a little bit of the oranges if you want it more autumn into the leaves, the same way that you're doing the green. Just leave a little spot and then mix it all together. Just blend and blend and blend until it comes together. I love putting like roses or anything when you're painting especially, but anything you can do watercoloring, you can do with pencils. So if you like something in a watercolor, watch how she does it, or he does it. And you can get pretty close with your pencils by doing light and dark, just like they're doing with the watercolors. Some things that you can't do with a brush, you can do with pencils, and it will work. All right, let's see if we can get his nose and his eye now. And now we just need the black. Okay. I'm just going to make his little nose black. You could leave a little highlight if you want. And now you just want to make that little circle in there again. And you can see that little highlight right there. If you can stay on the other side, you'll have your highlight. If not, just let your pasta pen do it. And we'll just leave that like that. And since we have this little, yep, it's still wet. Okay. Oops. Now look what I did. Shh, for shame, for shame, for shame. Because it wasn't dry, there, took it out. It's a miracle. So I think he turned out cute. And if he's a little red squirrel, you could give him some little feathers on the edge of his ears. They look like they're flying. And if you don't like it and it looks weird to you, do what I do. Erase it. But especially reds, anything that has red in it is not going to totally erase. So I'm going to have to fix it. Let me get a sharper point. And he's going to be a little red squirrel. I think. Did I mess him up too bad? Well, you can't hardly go over those black lines to where they disappear. Try this one. You'd have to come back and put some white down and then redo it again. So, boo-hoo. I messed up my little squirrel. Let's try this. Let's try putting a little deeper. We can just start getting those lines of his ears. I may have to come back and do exactly what I said. And put just a little bit of white over those lines, and then let that happen. Okay? So all you have to do is put a little dot right there. I left that little bit there. I am going to come back and I will fix his ears, but not now. I'll do it off camera. But all I'm going to do is take my pasta and put a drop, just a drop of white right there at the edge of his ear. And you could actually and then come back and make his little flying ears. Because that's what it looks like. His little ears are flying with the hair on the ends. And I think they're cute. But, and you can use one of these ball things too. And just make a little dot. Sometimes that's the easiest thing, is to take just some white acrylic paint and drop it on there. So I want to get to the other ones. Let me get my heat gun. we're going to give it a quick spray. Let's see, what can we unplug? The phone's plugged in. The lights are plugged in. What does this go to? My little electric blanket. I'm not using it until morning. I do have a little electric blanket. And I can't see the plug. There we go. All right, hold your ears for just a second. Okay, it's dry, so where are my two colors? Let's try it again. I just want to fill this white back in now. That's not bad, huh? What do you think? I'm gonna have to get a picture and look and see how much this is. But I think he looks they look kind of wild. We don't have any. Our squirrels are just squirrels. But these little red squirrels they got some pretty fuzzy ears. I don't think that's too bad. What do you think? All right, well, let's move on. Let's get to this one. And today, let me get this centered to make sure. I did a video this morning showing the book, and I didn't have it totally centered. So 1 inch from the bottom, 1 inch from the side. And I need my trusty tin full of distressed inks. Okay, I'm going to set these off to the side while we decide what color we want to do this in. There's a rustic, okay, this was what I was thinking about, I was wondering if this would work like between the 2 pages or down here between the 2 pages, and then just do these on the corners. And I could do, this is going to be hard, just do this at the top in the center. Man, you almost wish you could cut it in half and then do half and half, but then you've messed it up. But you could press it down enough to do that and get this on either side, because when you open up the book, and this is going to be colored like this, I found a cute little brown and light colored tan bunny that will do this one in. So we could do this down here. Let's see if you can see. Yeah, you can see. And can you see the top part? You can. Okay, so let's just start by lining. I'm going to just make it easy on myself and line up corner per corner. So we're going to do the 4 corners of the 2 pages, not the whole thing. So I'm thinking, let's try green. Let's just kind of give it some. We're going to use Distressed Ink, Rustic Wilderness. We'll try that. We can always go over it with something else. And I always like to take some piece of paper. It's clean. I don't know why these are always clean. So you want to hold this. Let me make sure you can see me. You can, okay. So I'm just going to this big brush, just daub it. And I'm going to just daub it on here too. Hold it tight and lift it up and see what you think. Okay? So if we wanted to, we could add, what could we add? We could add another color to it. What if we just used this mowed lawn? It's kind of a, let's see. I don't want to mix these up and put the wrong lid on the wrong thing. So I'm thinking just kind of hit the edge, hit the very bottom. Got to remember, because you got to do this 4 times. Now let's see what it looks like. I like that. What do you think? Even the light part in the center, I like that. So, okay. I'm going to put the lid back on so I don't forget what color I got. And I'm going to turn this around and line it up in this corner. Okay, that's not going to work. How are we going to? Okay, there we go. Are they the same? They're the same, right? Nope, they're not the same. This one's got a different design in it. So now we got to get it lined up like that one up there. So if we go this way, is that going to be right? Let me see. Yeah, okay, if we go this way and we just want, I think it's just about that far off. And I think we'll just pull it down just a little bit. Okay. Now this is the dark, so I'm going to try to get that. And down. Let's see. Yeah, I got a little darker, but that's okay. So don't let it move. Get the mowed grass and hit the corners and that side and this side. The lid on that one so we don't mix them up, because you can't tell at all. Okay, do they look the same? I think they look pretty good. What do you think? Can you see it? Okay. So let's do the other side. And they even pretty much look together. So how did we do this? And we just do the corner to corner? I think so. Lined it up on the corner. Where's the end of the page? There it is. And there it is. Okay. Gotta make sure you can see me. I thought I was good last time, and I wasn't on a few little things. All right, so we just did like that, like that. Let's look. I think we'll just do a little bit. Let's see. I think that'll be good. All right. Don't move on us. Now let's do this grassy green. And it did move just a little bit. Okay. Let's see, how does it look? What I'm checking for is if it's the same darkness or lightness. And I think that's pretty good. The only thing I think this needs just a little bit more. Okay. All right, so lining this back up. I want to see that it's about the same distance from the bottom and from the side. And this rabbit might be just a little bit bigger than our little hedgehog. So you can measure, but I'm eyeballing. And I think I'm going to go with it. So this is the grassy green. I'm going to hold it with one finger. And I'm going to look. I got it. It's a little darker than. Take the lid off of the grassy green. Let's look. I think it's a little off, but you know what? We did okay. Now, what do we want to do? Because I want something in here, and whether or not we can do this or not, I don't know. I don't know how to get that down in there without making a mess. Let's pull this one up. Maybe just flatten it out. Get the flattest part. And then really hold it down. This is a two-person job here. Which one do you want to volunteer to hold this for me? Okay. I'm going to try to scoop my fingers over. And we're just going to pray this works. And now just hold that book flat. Don't let that thing move. Hey, look at that. What do you think? Are you all cheering for me? Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, we didn't even worry about doing it the other way. So let's just wipe it off a little bit. Just so it doesn't get all over me, which it probably will anyway. I'm water soluble. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it down here, going down this way. What do you think? I think I like it. So, you know what? Those little brushes are going through even the other parts, like through the center, if you pounce really, really, really hard. Isn't this fun? I think it just excites me. I just like, oh my gosh, I love this. Now we can do the other side. That I got a little down there, but I think she said you could take it off if you hurry. Oh my gosh, it did. Look, it came off and I got it down there. Oh, how exciting. Can you see the whole picture? Let me look. Let me put the lid on. We're not done. We won't be able to do whatever we're going to do here until we get done. Okay, let me just show you both sides. I just think that turned out so cute. Isn't it turned out cute? Now tell me you're not excited to go find you a stencil and give this a shot. Okay, so now what I'm thinking, because this one side is done, and since I'm not doing this side, I definitely want to know what I use over here. So I'm just thinking about a little bit around him. I'm not sure what color. So you just kind of want to pick something that isn't going to be crazy or take away, but it's just going to soften around the very edge. And I'm thinking like a buttery yellow. Let's see, what is this one? This one is antique linen. Oh, look, I think this is more brown. I need to get a bigger piece of paper. I need to get the green off first. So we do have a lot of green in here. Boy, I love these brushes. Okay. I had that piece of paper laying here. Here it is. Let's test it. Okay, we're good to go, but let's see if this is really what we want to use. Some of these are kind of dry. Some of them are really, really juicy. You know what? I think that might work because we don't really want to add color. We just want to add some shading. So let's give it a shot. And I'm going to start right here in his body. And this is dry. I mean, it's not like it's just as soon as you, and that's what you have to check for, is whether or not these are loaded with color or they put very little color in them. I even emailed them and said, I bought two of these and they're both as dry as a bone, but I like the color, so I bought the ink thing, and they were giving me a story. I said, well, I didn't think you would do anything about it, but I just thought I'd let you know. But I love the color, and that was the robin's egg in the set, because I bought these in sets of, what did they come in, 4 or 5? So I just bought a few at a time. I keep thinking what this lady's name is. Her name is Karen. See, I'm just trying to take a little bit of this very, very white out of the background of him, so it looks more you see. You probably can't see with this camera what I'm doing, but it's just taking the white out of the back, and I think that's about all I want to do, besides bring some of it out to where it's kind of like a little ball around him. So I don't want to distract from him because he's so cute. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will get it uploaded right away. When we do the rabbit, we'll think about whether we want to do any more to this page. But I think that's all I'm going to do right now. We're going to think about it. So now you see how I have been doing my stencils. And I don't have a ton of them. I really don't. I did, but I don't no more. I sent a bunch of my stuff to my granddaughter when she had her first baby. And she did quite a bit with it. I think I sent her 6 boxes of stuff. Anyway. Oh, I got some on his little. Let's see if that'll erase quickly. Not really. It's lightning, but it's not coming off. So that must have been, oh, it's almost off. When I put this one down. So you want to make sure that they're clean, unless you don't care. Because I mean, it could be like, you know, it's light enough now. When I do the rest of it and I go around in this, I'm gonna have to make a note what I used. It's the antique linen. Oops, I have my phone plugged in and I keep hitting it. I'm sorry. Makes you jump up and down. Okay. I'm done. And I think we did real well. I'm just gonna check out his ears and see what I can do to make him look a little better. And work on his little eye. I'm not sure. It just seems so wide now. I don't really like it that much. I think we'll just close his little white part up. And you know, when you put these pasta colors down, You can take your fingernail actually and scrape some of that color off. But I'm just thinking. I'm thinking. So I just want to close that up a little bit. Now let's find. Okay. Just going to outline his eye a little bit. I think that helps. Oh, that looks. I don't like that little dot in there. That makes him look like he's a little loony. Well, maybe he is. Maybe that's the only problem. I think that looks better. What do you think? I like it better. And let's maybe get the little darker one. And go underneath his eye there like that. Just don't give up. Keep working at it. Let's go back to the red. I think that's better. Sometimes where you put the dot makes him look a little weird. And you could change that real easy. Let's see. Maybe the dot's too big. That's better. Now, let's go with the trusty Uniball and make the dot smaller. I always pounce up and down to get these things started before I try to put them on my paper. So where should he be looking? Probably not going to work until that black dries. Okay. Yep. It's too wet. I think it turned out cute though. But I do think his little pupil, this little white part, was just too big. Oh, I know how to make it go dry faster. Okay. Where, oh where do we want to put your little eye? Are you looking at us? It looks like he's looking at us. Let's try. You can keep moving it around until you like it. Now it doesn't want to work at all. Usually you just touch it. Isn't that better? Okay, see, I messed with it. I messed with it, and I don't like this little white highlight on his nose. Okay. I don't. I think he looks better. Not great, but better. I still need to do something with his little eye right here. Sometimes, let's try this green. I'm just taking the color right off of that thing. Maybe it looks like a little highlight. It can be whatever you want it to be. I was just looking for something. Let's see if I can't scrape. Okay. What am I using? A tweezer. And I'm using the flat part of it. But be careful, because I almost started taking the paper with it. So where's my red? Now let's try. All right, well, I think he turned out okay. We're gonna say we're done. We're finished, we're finished, we're finished, and you know we're not, because you always keep seeing more that you really want to try to fill in. So I'm going to leave him like that. Of course I am. I'll look at him tomorrow and see what I think. So, if nobody has told you today that they love you, I want to tell you, I love you. And may you have a wonderful, wonderful evening or day whenever you watch this. Until next time, we'll see what we're going to do.